My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me reassure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
Against. Against.
And you, Luc Manuel?
Against, of course.
Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
Well, you see, Monsieur Bonaparte, I would rather you'd have forgotten me for a minute. William, I am sorry, but I cannot follow you this time.
George? What?
I am against William. Please excuse me. I cannot commit the United States to such an enterprise. It's just too risky.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, really?
Let's end the charade. It's over!
Jacques?
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work for you.
Он чебанулся, блядь. Ну, попробовать можно, мне кажется.
Wait!
Durishay, you just can't help it, can you?
Бля, ладно. Ну я должен попробовать его спасти, слышь? Психология. Блять, а что у него? Подожди-ка секунду. Я что, должен его просто бросить? Ну нахуй надо. Слабость психологии. Ну тогда на психологию даем пацану, правильно?
Monsieur, I know I don't really know you, but you seem like a decent person.
I have done so many horrible things.
You blame yourself, I can see that. Everything's not lost.
I don't want to do bad things anymore.
You can take control of yourself again. You can fix whatever it is you've done.
Do you really believe that?
Of course, Jacques. You'll have all the time you need.
Бляха. Сука, сейчас бы напороться на... самый... Давай логику, он же, блядь, тупой немножко. Давай на логику.
Jacques, you're not alone.
There's nothing you can do against him.
Of course there is. We've already started.
How can you say that, knowing he's already probably gotten rid of your mother, Louis?
No, he hasn't. She's still here. She's alive, Jacques.
But...
Yes, trust me. This is not who you are. You're better than that.
You don't know me.
Yes, I do. I know you're no coward. So give me your weapon, please.
But
There's
Ладно,
nothing
блядь,
to
я
fear.
потратил
I'm
все,
right
чтобы
here.
спасти этого чувака. Надеюсь, что это, блядь...
Don't worry, you're safe now, Jacques.
Надеюсь, блядь, что я сейчас не сделал ни хуйню.
You would have seriously hurt someone if Monsieur Durishay here hadn't stopped you. Your behavior is unacceptable. you would do better to go and rest in your apartment. My friends, we shall continue the conference later. I would like to apologize for the inexcusable behavior of my guest. We all need to recover from all of this
Понятно, так мы будем продлевать.
Take the rest of the day off.
И затем еще продлевать. А с чего вдруг ты сорвался-то, мужик, ебаный насос? Миллиард развилок. Я могу раскрыть тайны Наполеона Бонапарта, могу узнать больше о Грегоре Холл. Конечно, не очень здорово. Ну, логично, что я как бы должен был, наверное, спасти его, но это имеет смысл, мне кажется. Это имеет какой-то смысл, потому что, ну, а как иначе-то? У меня 4 очка навыков, ну, блин, во что может быть здесь? Ловкость, это, конечно, сильно. Второй левел ловкости, логика. Оккультизм я хотел, во-первых, одно очко сюда все-таки бахнуть. Бдительность, не знаю. Ловкость, психология. Психология мне нравится, на самом деле, читать как книгу. Нормальная идея. Ну, немножко почитать, может быть, здесь. Не знаю, пока, конечно, не очень понятно, что здесь происходит вообще, но... И вообще, куда мы идем, к чему мы вообще тут как бы близимся, пока не очень понятно. На самом-то деле, ну, посмотрим.
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again, it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course. Let us celebrate Louis's courage. He enabled us to avert a tragedy.
Yes, that was very noble of you, Louis.
You have given us all a fine lesson in courage.
Thank you.
He owes you his life. That's quite something.
That madman deserves to die.
We are providing Monsieur Peru with care, but rest assured, he is no longer a danger to himself or anyone else. I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Все, сейчас пиздить нас будет. Короче, этикет, хитрость. Интересно, кстати, хитрость. Ловкость. Ну, давай, наверное, я не понимаю, что такое хитрость. Ну, давай хитрость. Этикет. Логика. Вот так. Не пизди, пожалуйста, мужик. Я хотел, честно. А чё, ходить-то можно? Алло. Наконец-то разбагалась, в общем-то, эта игра. Не можно поговорить с сэром Мортимером. С лордом Мортимером. Давай поговорим, ладно.
Louis, I wanted to thank you personally. I admire what you did to save Monsieur Peru's life. You have given us all a wonderful lesson in courage.
Don't mention it, my lord. You would have done the same. I was just quicker.
Ah, humility is a fine quality, sir.
Where is he now?
In his room. I've sedated him. I don't want him trying to take his life again. Or, worse yet, attacking one of the guests. When in despair, Monsieur Peru is clearly a dangerous man.
Tell me, my lord, can you think of any reason why he would be so terrified of you?
Terrified? Come now, that's a bit harsh. I think he was simply unable to put things into perspective. I see no reason to fear me. Ask President Washington. I don't believe I'm such a difficult friend.
Having spoken to him, I can assure you that he feared you even more than death itself. Had he disappointed you in any way recently?
Of course, he was on the edge. He was desperate, and it grew noticeable in his work. Our collaboration was probably coming to an end, but I certainly didn't feel the need to threaten him, ever.
But without you, no more support, no more money. It was an end to his social status. If you lost, he lost everything, didn't he?
No, not his life.
Thanks to me, I guess. On that note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please. What a pity you didn't support me during the conference. I hope I can count on you on the day of the vote. This major project needs men like you, Louis.
And you never know, right? Maybe by then, I'll see things differently.
Well, thank you for allowing me to believe in that possibility, Louis. From here on, I shall make it my mission to persuade you to change your vote.
Be my guest. But I hope your arguments are very, very persuasive, because I'm not the only one who isn't on your side.
Oh, rest assured, I am working on it.
Very well, then. I'll see you later, my lord.
Бля, так не убивай, мужик, только не убивай, а. Тут, блядь, была шкатулка какая-то, и там что-то можно было открыть, но я пока не ищу. Код все еще мне непонятен, честно говоря, я не знаю, сколько раз.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like
Это же была шкатулка, или я что-то путаю, я не
the
понимаю.
worm
Это же
before
была
it
шкатулка
attains its
какая-то,
final
нет?
form? Charming.
Что за дичь? А вон она, шкатулка стоит, да?
Which four-letter word could open this
Какое же
chest?
слово-то реально из 4 букв? Мне просто даже реально интересно, что это может быть за слово такое. Бля, подожди, а как назывался этот город-то, который... Как он там, вот этот... Третья вот эта вот штука. Крестовый поход. Как назывался город-то? А я уже не могу посмотреть. Зашибись, конечно, здорово. А ты не знаешь, да, надеюсь, что я там был? Ну, а я могу, кстати, интересно сейчас просто нажать. Мне просто интересно. Нормально, если я просто подойду и нажму, да? Кстати, Кармитская вода, да? Стоп, здесь еще что-то было только что. Я только что что-то видел. Вот прям вот только что. Какой-то Алка, Арса, не помню, как он там назывался. Внезапно у меня закончили, то есть начали падать запасы моих, так скажем, ресурсов. Ну, посмотрим, что можно ли будет здесь что-то сделать, конечно, с этим, да, потому что, ну, по-хорошему, конечно, было бы очень неплохо это сделать. Потому что, в общем-то, ну, было бы реально очень неплохо немножко как бы набрать запасов. Я, правда, не знаю, у кого это может делать. Например, у Перю, но у меня сейчас такое состояние, что, наверное, не очень хорошая тема туда идти вот наебывать. Ёпарасоте, что ты здесь сидишь?
Ah, Louis. Well done, my son. You may well have saved our lives. Who knows what that madman was capable of?
It was a reflex reaction.
And modest as well. Sarah would be proud of you. It's not going to help matters for Mortimer. Now he has one less vote for the conference.
You don't seem too affected by it, though.
Louis, I do not appreciate your remark, which I will put down to the indiscretions of youth. I am here in the interests of the Holy See. But I am above all a Christian, and it hurts me to see lost souls take a wrong turn.
Of course, of course. But even with such a setback, I'd still be wary of Mortimer. I sense he has still a few surprises in store for us.
Oh, I fully agree with you. I've been told about Washington. Congratulations, Louis. I must admit, though, when I first saw you, I would never have put money on you succeeding. Well, I was wrong.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
On that note, I shall leave you, Louis. I see you later.
Так, ну что, поехали. Так, подожди, здесь что-то было, или мне показалось?
A ruble.
Рубль. Рубль, это хорошо. Это моя комната, надеюсь, да? Чё-то не похоже, что это моя комната. Это опять ваша, да? Или что? Чья это комната? Кто здесь живет в этой палке? Кто здесь живет? Это ваш? Нет. Ну да, это ваш, судя по тому. Что-то здесь шкафчик открытый, это его дом, да, это его хата. Я, кстати, могу к нему просто выйти, походу, туда вот, гулять на улку. Возможно, я его даже здесь встречу, но может быть и нет. Эликсир. А у меня так-то всего лишь этого самого нету, да, получается.
Amber crystals.
Вот это здорово. Правда, первый, похоже, или третий все-таки, или второй. Такая это что за дичь? Я не понял. Это мы сейчас. А, там опять здесь что-то. Шкатулка. Вот это я. Вот тут еще вроде как что-то, да, было, по-моему. Нет, показалось. Показалось. Так. У нас соседняя, по-моему, комната, да? А, нет, стоп, там высокопреосвященство. Вот тут где-то, да? Нет, не в ту сторону, понятно. Че он все сидит рядом с этой комнатой, Элизио? Ну, он очень подозрительный парень, я серьезно говорю. Это до невозможности подозрительное высокопреосвященство. Все еще в комнату, скорее всего, нельзя будет попасть. Это меня очень сильно напрягает, реально. Это очень сильно меня напрягает. Да не просто так меня не пускают в его комнату, правильно? Никогда.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Я попал вообще во всех комнатах, и только у Пьяджи я не был.
That's me.
Реально, это очень странно.
Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly. You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Ляха, ты что, охуела? Вижу, в эту сторону, да?
Duke Manuel Godoy.
I do believe that's Emily's voice. I can't understand what she's saying.
порофли нахуй выломаны нахуй.
Impossible. I can't do it. There's something blocking it on the other side.
Через балкон как-то.
I've got to find another way in.
По-любому можно как-то через балкон это сделать. Но тут просто нет других комнат. Хотя, блин, с годой это как это пройти? Он же с другой стороны вообще балкон. Ну, блин, ну...
Monsieur de Richet, I have no time. I was about to join Sir Gregory. Come back later.
All right. I'll be off then. Thank you.
И что же мне делать? И как же я должен попасть-то туда? Вы что, угораете? То есть, что-то мешает с другой стороны. Как-то обойти через сад или что-то. А как, где можно обойти? Я не понимаю. Подожди секунду. То, что есть дверь какая-то, я не понимаю. А можно, кстати, вот... Нет, здесь... Пипец, как закрыто, что-то все перекрыто, закрыто, мать Иисуса. И как же я должен попасть туда, интересно? Так, а это Джордж Вашингтон. Не знаю, я не очень понимаю, конечно, как здесь можно будет куда-то пройти. Даже если я прав. Что можно как-то обойти, но... Я все еще на какой-то комнату Вашингтона, правильно? Ну, я тогда не понимаю, как обойти, честно говоря. Ну, постучаться глупо, они просто не услышат, скорее всего, да? Если они не слышат, как я дверь выламываю, то логично, что они как бы... То, что я постучусь, не услышат. Ну, что-то как-то... Это как-то совершенно меня не устраивает такая идея. Как же я должен туда попасть? Просто на миллион, конечно, а?
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Как я реально туда должен попасть? Серьезно, что ли?
Duchess Emily Hillsborough. To get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. No way. It's too sturdy. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. Damn it. It's closed. Seems like the key is still in the lock on the other side. That means I won't be able to pick it. Or I could do as I did the last time in the tower room. Slowly, Louis. Nice and slow. It's not a very complex lock. I'm sure I can force it if I can just find something to smash it with. must act fast.
My dear Napoleon.
Так, ну ладно.
How could you do that to me?
It's as if there are several
You're a fine
people
one to
inside.
talk. Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this. What are you on about now? I should never have told you what happened to me.
A letter
That's
from
how it
William
works,
Pitt
and
the
you know it
Younger,
full well.
addressed to
I'm not
Emily.
that naive.
He's the
I
present
know
Prime Minister of the
inside out.
United Kingdom.
Stop.
Emily
We'll
has
end up
indeed some
losing
powerful
everything if you
backers.
keep on.
Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. What on earth is... You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little bitch! How dare you! Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but... I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival... You handed me something. I wasn't feeling very well, and you handed me some... What was it?
My handkerchief, and you stained it with your blood. You still have it, as a matter of fact. But she already knows all this, Louis. It's a waste of time.
Right. Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
On the night of our arrival, we were warming ourselves in front of the fire. Mortimer welcomed us in a very odd way. What happened?
It won't work, Louis. It wasn't Mortimer who welcomed us. It was Sir Gregory. Sorry, Louis. I already told her.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll. Before going to bed, I went for a stroll. Did we speak to each other during that stroll?
You must be mistaken. After going up to bed, I went straight to sleep. But she knows all that, Louis. I already told her. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Remember? How did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
Sword toward the Gorgon. Gorgon toward the shield. Shield toward the sword. Lantern toward the shield. Of course, I told her how to do it. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well. Let's talk about us. Last night, you came to visit me, and I can't help wondering why. Why did you come to my room?
Louis, you must be mistaken. I did not go to your room last night, and that's where your little game ends, Emma. Because I never told you about it. So, there you can't answer. What? No! You didn't do that. I didn't want you to be jealous of Louis. Remember how you always used to react whenever you felt you were competing against a man? You dirty...
That's enough. I've had enough of this charade. That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
Да ну ладно вам, ну вы что, серьезно? Ладно, го, великий риск. Просто я хз. Просто из-за того, что там слабость. Все.
It's you,
Из-за этого.
Emily.
No, Louis! She is manipulating you!
No, Emma. It's her. I know it. Despite all the trouble you've gone to put one over on me, I know it is her.
That's enough now, Emma. You little slut! Don't think you are going to get away with this so easily. You are going to stop your little game right now. Never! I am Duchess Hilson. No!
Emily?
I am the Duchess.
But...
You don't. Dear God, what have I done? See what you've done. See?
Louis?
Mother!
What on earth is...
Go away. You must go. Everyone is going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess, is everything all right?
Come on, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I am coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her. Please, go. I'll cover you.
What? What are you doing there? Stop!
God damn it. Now what's going on?
Я не знаю, ну, блин, на самом деле это было очень странно, потому что я просто не знал. То есть я знал только что одну из характеристик. А, кстати, я упарывался, кстати, в устойчивость.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Мне надо прям так без палева к ним просто подойти, да, пацаны?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering. Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
My instructions are clear, sir. No one is to enter.
Подожди, склеп же выпадать, по-моему, из... А как попасть туда опять? Ёлки-палки, надо в сад какой-то что-то попадать.
President George Washington.
Подожди, зачем я сюда иду? Или правильно иду? Подожди, это стол или нет? Вроде нормально. Ну, блин, ну там же видно все, ё-моё.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough! I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational. I know you are going to find this hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore.
Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess.
Сейчас бы домовой и Дед Мороз.
Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Home does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Home had sent Volner to get it for him.
Home and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis. Not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Не, ну что-то ты заметил, конечно. Ну, например, древо.
I came across his family tree in his study.
An only son.
Since the Third Crusade.
The fall of St. John of Acre, Louis. The fall of St. John of Acre.
I went beyond the Nightmare Mother.
You understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come. But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
He has contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
I found your notes written in lemon juice.
Where all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait, please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
The urn? No, I didn't. Why?
Good. We'll deal with it later.
You mean the conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or personnel. I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Home are mere dandies who organize society balls. History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents. Louis, I am proud of you. You came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
You taught me everything I know. Right. How did it all begin?
I saw him!
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. composed of 7 parts. Each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages.
He was already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body. But I know it was him. I swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you refused, of course.
Why, naturally, Louis. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing. I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Do you know who killed her?
Absolutely not.
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
All right, but you're not getting away with it so lightly. Once we get back to Paris, be sure I won't be letting it go.
We'll see in Paris then.
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
What did you negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
You know, I found your package under a wharf plank.
As a matter of fact, I needed it yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to take it.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that. I shall show you.
Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He demands that the Spanish hand over Louisiana to France.
Oh, knowing him, it won't stop there. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
There. That's why we are here.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving. Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
And a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course. An exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
What do you mean by the concordance of dates, exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you. One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
Famous cross of Claymont III. Perfect. And one key found.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Так, ну пойдем, пойдем, пойдем. За мать его история. У меня просто пробежка. Вечерняя, просто пробежка, вечерняя пробежка. И все. Ничего подозрительного я не делаю. Совершенно очевидно. Просто пробегаю по садику, что. Плохо, неплохо. Разминочка. Что тут было, по-моему?
Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet.
Хрен, опять они стоят. Очень криво.
That statue is not positioned correctly. Open sesame. So that's Pandora's box? An urn? Mother seemed worried that I was able to open it. I wonder why. So, I did well not to touch it.
Проверять, так понимаю, не очень надо, да? Почему?
So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often, otherwise he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it. Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time. Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one?
Другого здесь нет просто-напросто. Почему бы и нет?
sorry, sir, but Mr. Peru is not seeing visitors at the moment. He's resting, and is to see no one. Good luck.
Good luck, good luck. Шесть, четыре, шесть, 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 четыре, шесть, шесть. Интересно. 6466. Да, его почему-то там нет. Не знаю, где он, но его здесь нет. Интересно, что будет, если я здесь застряну еще раз. Это, конечно, будет прикол, если я тут еще раз застряну. Уже Перу не спасет меня, Николаевич.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191. Of course.
Золотую чашу. А вот они.
There. Those are the nails I was looking for. It's locked. Conference might be focused on the United States, but Mortimer has an eye everywhere. Which is not very reassuring if he really is a demon. All right, come on, let's get out of here. 6466, if I remember correctly.
Хам, не дали попробовать. Что очень интересно, забашенная комната. Мне такая. Я не понимаю, что это за комната. Она прям тут. А, это та, которая типа какие-то там Павлович, апостол какие-то.
Ah, Louis. Glad you're here.
Хватит ты меня.
Blasted. He's gonna... Talk about my mother.
Come and see what I've found. There are pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been burning something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters. Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
The rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain there must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
I see. I know what it's about.
Do you know who?
Вот это будет ров, если я не попаду сейчас.
Doing their communicating in this room?
Yes, but of course we must keep it to ourselves, because it is still a sensitive matter. Volner and Elizabeth had an affair. Volner hinted that he'd found a way to remain discreet about it. I admit it is ingenious.
Well, I would never have guessed.
Delighted to have helped, but I still have to find my mother.
Of course. We shall see each other later in that case.
Wasted enough time. The Bible.
Это ужасно темно здесь как-то. А ты все еще здесь стоишь, да? Собака такая, а? Че, палишь, да?
A chest with the occult symbol representing air. The Bible's still there.
Может, дядя что-то скажет, он все же здесь стоит зачем-то, я не знаю зачем.
Hey, look, there.
No, I don't see anything.
Come, Louis, look. Someone's clearly drawn a 4 in the dust. I have a clue.
He's going to be disappointed when he sees the Bible's disappeared.
Это все?
Hey, look, there.
No, I don't see anything.
Come, Louis, look. Someone's clearly drawn a 4 in the dust. I have a clue.
He's going to be disappointed when he sees the Bible's disappeared.
И что теперь делать-то? Что, просто по комнатам ходить, что ли, не понимаю?
Monsieur Johann van Volner.
Допустим, давай пойдем к ним. Я не знаю почему. Просто он ближайший.
An armillary sphere. Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
Нормально? А как я должен это найти, интересно? Я зашел просто потому, что это ближайшее. Ну, может быть, конечно, в этом и смысл. Ну, типа... Странно. Стоп, подожди, мне куда? Схлеб. Оказалось. Хватит кто?
Ah, Durishe. Congratulations for your efforts with Washington. I see that Sir Gregory did well to trust you. What can I do for you?
I'm dreaming. My mother was right. He's not going to tell me one word about what happened to Emily.
To tell you the truth, I'm in search of an armillary sphere. You wouldn't know where I can find it, would you?
Well, well. So you do have a passion for astronomy. Von Wollner has already bored me quite enough with all of his endless stories. You ought to concentrate, Louis. Politics is an art that requires all one's attention. Refrain from spreading yourself too thin, and leave stargazing to the poets.
What can I say? I'm only...
Ask Wollner. I am sure he must have it among his effects.
Perfect.
Thank you, my Lord Duke.
Leave me now.
See you later.
Тут я нашел уже, алло. Почему один и тот же диалог? Что вы так появляетесь резко, не понимаю. Ты не смешно, елки-палки. Это что, на улицу выход? Ну, почти, да. Где Высокопреосвященство? Интересно. Ну это, конечно, пранк, конечно, выше салютой. Да ладно. Я же, похоже, запомнил, как надо. Нет, я не запомнил, как надо пробежать, я понял. Ну, почти, да. Стоп, не сюда. Так. Пойдем духов загонять, что ли? Это вроде только 3 эпизод, их 5. Здесь я ничего не путаю. Может быть, конечно, здесь уже нет никого. И... Да нет, стоит.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed 1 nail in Bethlehem, 1 in chapter 2, and 1 in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
All right, my turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
Shut up. Так.
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
I'll have to trust her. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N, R, I. Nothing more. Why, of course. They're part of the initials INRI that you can find on the cross of Jesus at his crucifixion. It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category.
Так.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything.
Подожди, что надо сделать? Я же ставил все, нет? Не, ну-ка подожди,
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
Непонятно, мне надо понять город, получается, да? Место и...
Chapter 1, verse 9. Jesus was baptized by John in Jordan on the 9th of Hesed, 3852. Chapter 1, verse 9. And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized by John in Jordan. And coming up out of the water, he saw the heavens opened, and the Spirit like a dove descending upon him. Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash. Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Teveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
Подожди секунду. Ну хотя, наверное, это глупо так смотреть, но... Голгофа, может быть, еще какая-то. Судя по логике, да? Ну там написано недалеко от Иерусалима, поэтому... Я не понимаю, зачем нужны места, на самом деле, реально. Но пока я реально не вижу.
Chapter 7, verse 11. Jesus went to Nain.
Никак не связано, прям совсем.
Chapter 2, verse 2. Publius Sulpicius Quirinius was born in Lanuvium. Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head. Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 1, verse 9. Jesus was baptized by John in Jordan on the 9th of Hesvan, 3852. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
Отсюда вытащить, поставить сюда. Просто с Эрданом ничего не связано. Типа про голгоф я ничего вообще найти не могу, сори. Понятия не имею. Тут написано рядом, они нарисовали.
It works. Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
There must surely be a connection between the wheels. There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. Now, given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
This wheel contains several symbols made up of one or two figures and one letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date. This wheel represents the different moons. In the occult sciences, we represent the full moon by an X. As for the dark moon, called the new moon, in cults, it's often associated with something harmful. During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon. Seventh of Shaban, 607, first quarter. 19th of Jamada al-Awwal, 639, waning gibbous. The moon shadow moves from west to east. I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Что-то сложно.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Так, как сделать-то что-то, я не понимаю. Я не понимаю, как можно что-то двигать там, не знаю, блин. Ничего не понимаю, мать Иисус. Как двигать-то хоть что-то, елки-палки, я не понимаю. За бредятина, двигать-то как, а? Чем двигать-то, алло, Алёша? А, боже мой, вот эти штуки же. Станьте, там же вот этот пульт выехал, да? Повернуть. Диск, сип. Стоп, а здесь что?
Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme. By following the clues in the Bibles and the architect's notes, the crucifixion took place on the 8th of Nisan 3793, according to the astronomers of that time. That would correspond to March 26th in the year 33 on a modern calendar.
Nissan 1793. Работа. Минус 553, да? Не то, по-моему. 7 Шабана.
7th of Shaban, 607, first quarter.
ничего не значит. Ничего не понимаю ничего. Что такое первая четверть, елки-палки? Первая четверть вот это вот, значит, да, или что, я не понимаю. Что это знаки, мать Иисуса?
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
Я что-то неправильно поставил опять, да, или что? Я не понимаю, просто реально не понимаю.
Seventh of Shaban, 607, first quarter.
Так, а если...
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon.
Это похоже вообще на правду. Ну, может, и похоже, конечно. Тут типа фул белое, тут типа черное проявляет. Тут похоже, наверное, да. Хотя, по сути, она в любом случае похожа. Не понимаю, в чем разница. Типа, первая четверть, конечно, это четверть. Не понимаю. Почему я не могу это самое? Это интересно, просто я вообще не могу пропустить это даже. Это бессмысленная загадка абсолютно. Реально она очень бессмысленная, я реально не понимаю, что с ней делать. Блин, с другой стороны руку надо тащить. Блин, там же еще руку надо засовывать, да? Не знаю, 26 марта. О, боже. 26 М, 29 С, 1 А. Ну я не понимаю, что это значит реально. Что такое А? Есть такой 17 октября, есть такой вообще? 34, что ли, что это такое? 8А, 6М, 17F. Тут вообще такие цифры есть, да нет? 17F, F. Что такое 17F? Нажимать его сложно. Ну, это будет рофл, конечно, если руку снесет, ладно. Ладно, пусть будет так. Еще что?
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck. I never doubted you, my son.
Ну, Генетик помог немножко, конечно. Хотя я бы 26-е поставил. Что-то искать я не стал настолько сильно. Честно говоря. Я поставил 26-е. Я честно не понимаю, почему. Это я вообще вытащу просто. Новую часть, просто вытащу ее. Просто затащил. Сам в шоке стал, как я затащил. Психология. Понятно. Значит, на этом заканчивается. Ну, тогда это уже следующий раз. Собственно.